Yeah, today's not gonna be a good face makeup day. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, as you can tell, I am barefaced. I just kind of grabbed all these new makeup drugstore products. So the whole thing is going to be drugstore, because every time I say that, I always kind of sneak in a higher end product, but no, promise, drugstore. And I am going to just see what I come up with. So I haven't been able to reach to some of these new drugstore products that I've purchased within the past 2 months. So I figured, why not, let's sit down, grab some snacks, and do a full face of brand new drugstore items. So for the first 2 products we have here is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Coconut 3-in-1 Primer. I'm not gonna lie, I really do enjoy coconut scented spray products. It just gives it, I don't know why, it just makes me feel more refreshed or whatever. And then I picked up this Makeup Revolution Mattifying Primer. Now for the mattifying primer, it has like a really oily consistency. It kind of reminds me of the Smashbox primer. So I guess we're gonna see how this does, because to be honest, I really don't like these types of primers like this. I feel like they end up doing the complete opposite and making me more oily, but we'll try it out. Now for the foundation I'm going to be using is the e.l.f. Flawless Finish Foundation. I did pick this up from my local Target, and I did pick up the shade Linen. So let's see if it's my shade. It does seem like it's actually going to be a little bit too light for me, but we'll make it work. And this foundation does state that it is oil free and it's a satin finish. Yeah, so out of the bat, this foundation is just a little bit too light for me, but not too bad. Okay, it's not a little bit, it's quite a lot. So I am gonna have to add bronzer. Now I am gonna add just a little bit more around the nose area, because the coverage is about like a light to medium, and currently I have some darkness and redness going on, so I just want to cover that up. So I am going to have to try out this foundation with my typical face primer, just because I'm not liking how it's seeping into my pores, and I'm not sure if it's the foundation or not, or if it's the primer that's causing the foundation to kind of move around in my face. I did try to add that second layer, but it kind of did more harm than actually good, because now you can see more of that redness peeking through. Alright, so for concealer, I actually did receive these e.l.f. Flawless 16-hour Camo Concealers from Influencer. So let's see if they're even my shade, because they do look too light. But again, I guess we're going to have to try to make it work. Yeah, like this one completely, it is too white. But I mean, I can use that probably as an eye primer, so we'll make this one work. And this one is in the shade Light Peach. Now the second one that seems to be just the tiniest bit, not even that much darker, is this one is in the shade Medium Peach. I mean, they're so light. I don't know if I was trying to make it work. That's just too beyond too light. So I really want to try to test this concealer out. I'm going to mix it in with my Maybelline, just because this is such a light concealer, so it's not going to really make that much of a formula difference. But like I said, I just really want to try it out. So that is just too light. Alright, so that's not going to work. I'm going to have to scratch that concealer and still keep it within the drugstore. I'm actually going to just apply my Jordana concealer on top of it. So unfortunately, I haven't recently picked up a new setting powder, so I'm just going to go in with my typical favorite Maybelline Fit Me powder. But to set my face, I am going to be using the Maybelline Superstay Full Coverage Powder Foundation. And then this is in the shade 312 Golden. Now it is a little bit too yellowy, so we're just going to have to make it work. So it is adding just the tiniest bit of color on my face, luckily. But I'm just looking real ghostly white. Oh, I just need to hurry up and put on some bronzer. Alright, finally into the bronzer. So I do have these new Wet n Wild bronzers. One of them looks shiny, the other one looks like I can kind of use it. It is a little bit on the orangey side, but alright, let's just see what this does. I just need some color already on my skin. It's looking a little better. A little better. Just the tiniest bit better. Alright, it added just the tiniest bit of color. Ooh, it still looks... You know what? It's going to be one of them days. One of them days where your foundation does not match the rest of your body. But it's okay. Because I'm not going anywhere. Alright, so going into brows. So I did pick up this new brow pencil from Revlon. Alright, so I got my brows done, but for this brow pencil, I don't like it just because the pencil itself is quite thick. As well, this pencil is more of on the waxy side. So since I don't have that much hair where the wax can cling onto, I just don't like how it bunches up in certain areas where I don't have any hair. So I did have to use my NYX micro brow pencil to get into those little, to the beginning of the brow where I don't have any hair. And just to set my brows in place, I did use the Ulta Beauty Brow Tint that I do really enjoy. So how much of a color difference this foundation is to my skin tone? I'm just going to be using this e.l.f. primed bronzer in Forever Kiss. It's too light for me, but I just want to add some color to my face because it's bothering me. So that did help out a little bit. Hopefully when I use the blush and everything's on, it'll look a little bit better. Now for my eyeshadow, I am going to be using a combination of the Flower Beauty Sugar Rush palette, and I think I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild BI Purple palette as well, mixed in together. Alright, so for my eyeshadow base, I did use the Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit Cream Liquid Eyeshadow in the color Camelback. So let's see how it blends these eyeshadows together. So I'm just going to start off with this brown shade in my crease and as my transition shade, since I'm going to be using a lot of pinks and purples. Alright, so that did pack on a little bit too dark than I expected. And then I'm going to use this pink shade right here to go into my crease just to lighten it up. Really don't know what kind of look I'm going for. I'm just kind of winging it, to be honest. So we're going to go in with this deeper shade and just, I guess, pat it in the outer corner of the eye. So I am going to go back in with that Wet n Wild base just to cut my crease. For being a $3 eyeshadow base, it's not that bad. It is pretty pigmented as well, and it doesn't crease that much either. So I am going to go in with this shimmer shade right here. It is more of a bronzy toned. Alright, so I do really like how that looks, but just because I want to, use a lot of these shades, I am going to go in with this cranberry shimmer shade and just kind of use that to blend in that first shimmer shade and that outer corner color too. Or just to add just a little bit more extra, I am going to use this first shade right here and actually place it on top of that shimmer, just to see what it does. Now these shades are really, the shimmers are really crumbly. I haven't had that much fallout down beneath, but these shades, I don't know, I think they might be just a little bit hard to pick up on a brush. I am going to try first without setting spray just to see what it does. Oh, it actually does apply really well. Alright, so that it did apply semi alright. I feel like I am going to have to go in with a more flat, fluffy brush to really get that color to pack on how I want it to. Alright, so that shade did have quite a bit of fallout. Give you a little heads up about that. I'm actually going to still try to apply it with some setting spray just to see what it does. Oh, so I did do like a pretty shimmer on the lid. It is really pretty. So it ended up being more of a cranberry brownish eye look versus purple and pinkish. But hey, sometimes you gotta wing it. Alright, so I am gonna go in with a more detailed brush. And I'm gonna go back in with that. You see how though it's crumbling up? That's what I don't like. So I'm gonna go back in with that shade to place on my brow bone. Yeah, so it's really pretty. And I kind of want to go in with this brown, but I'm not. So I'm also gonna place that same shade in my inner corner. Yeah, so that white shade, if you really want to pick up this palette, you are going to have to do your eye makeup first and then do your foundation, because yeah, that white shade gets everywhere. So I am going to finish up the other eye and we'll come back with some more goodies to use. Alright guys, so this is the finished eye look. Alright, so for blush I am going to be using this middle shade in the Checkmate King, the Cream Shop palette. I picked this up from my local CVS. I haven't been, well, I picked it up quite a while ago and I haven't really got the chance to play with the colors, so we'll see how it ends up. Alright, so these colors are pigmented. Do go in with the light hand. I feel like I'm always telling y'all that. So it is a really pretty color. They are very powdery though, like if, let's see if you can see it. Can you see it? No, probably not. But it is a really pretty color. These other shades I feel like I'm never gonna be able to use. I'll probably just end up using them as eyeshadows because they're gonna be too dark. But this middle shade right here is really pretty. So for a drugstore highlighter, I actually have not picked one up in quite a while, which is a really good thing. I feel like highlighters is one of the main things that once you purchase the 3 types of undertones of highlighters, I mean, there's nothing more out there unless for quality or for packaging. So I am trying to not pick up any more highlighters because I am trying to cut back on my makeup purchases. I am going to go in with my Master Chrome Maybelline one, and this is in the shade Molten Gold. I really have been enjoying this one. It is just a really pretty golden highlighter. Really goes well with my tan skin, even though with my foundation today I kind of covered up that tanness. Alright, now for my lip color, I'm going to just use this neutral shade of a lip liner just because I'm almost done with it. Alright, so for my lip colors, I did go in the outer just to make it a little bit darker with this Ulta Beauty Matte Lip Cream in the shade Courageous. And then in the center, I did go in with this Amore Shine Liquid Lip Color from Milani in Tenderness. Alright, so I did want to deepen up my bronzer just because my foundation was like too light. And I did use the Wet n Wild You're Dragging Me Down bronzer. Now this isn't new, but I just haven't used it because I really do enjoy it. And it's a limited edition item and you can't purchase it anymore. But I really do enjoy using that shade. It's just like a perfect like bronzing shade. And it doesn't look so harsh on the skin either. It looks literally like color. Alright guys, so this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I do want to say that for sure, a couple things that you can skip out in the drugstore is the Revlon pencil. Just personally for me, since I don't have a lot of eyebrow hairs, this did not work out. As well as the, where'd it go? as well as the Flower Beauty eyeshadow palette. I feel like there's just so many more good palettes out there. For being a $16 palette, you can skip on this. I mean, the shades were pretty. I feel like one of the cons is no mirror. Some of these shades just flake too much for my liking, and as well, you get those little slim pans that, in the end of the day, it's just not worth it for me, since testing out more drugstore palettes, there's just better quality out there. I'm really a fan of the lip products. It really did a really good job. As far as the foundation goes, it's really hard for me to pinpoint on the foundation and the primer, just because I do really need to try them out with my go-to products, because I feel like with this, I can't really say if it's mattifying or not to this point. I mean, it did crease right here in the nose. I did have to add some extra powder on. And as well with the foundation, I'm not sure which one is failing for me. But I am going to give these two products another round. They are very inexpensive. This was $8 and the foundation was $6. As far as everything else, I mean, like I said before, I really do enjoy how the overall look came about. And as well, leave me a comment down below on what kind of video you wanted to see next. If you want to see a review on a certain product or another first impressions, this time with high-end products that I've been purchasing. Don't forget to like and subscribe and to hit the notification button so that way you don't miss next upload. I do thank you for joining me today, and we'll see you on the next one.